What is going on, guys? My name is Rafael. I'm the creator of Elevate Athletic Club. Originally, it was called Roll Life Jiu Jitsu. I wanted to change the name because I didn't want it to just be a Jiu Jitsu brand. I'm super big into fitness, like bodybuilding, strength training, powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting, like high rocks, CrossFit, all that. I just love the fitness field. I was a personal trainer for a while, and because of being a personal trainer, I was like, man, I'm pretty strong. I should get into some like martial art and use this like the strength I had. And then I fell in love with jiu-jitsu, and long story short, like here we are, and I created my own brand. I also work for a supplement company called Hollow Labs, so check out their stuff if you guys are looking for some awesome electrolytes to keep you guys from not dying while you're training jiu-jitsu or not getting cramps, and just keep you hydrated, because if you're not hydrated, you're going to pass out. You're not going to feel good. Check out Hydrate by Hollow Labs. I literally take it in the morning, at night. It's one of the best supplements I've ever taken in my life. But yeah, so I started Elevate Jiu-Jitsu Club. We might make gis in the future. This is my own personal gi I made, so eventually we're going to look into making some gis. So there's the Elevate Jiu-Jitsu gi, has a repeating pattern on the inside, has Elevate Athletic Club on the side, and then the American flag, because USA baby all day, right on the side, which is awesome. Got some gi pants. Some of the other designs we have here, this is the Tsunami set. These are just the shorts. It has a great wave on the inside, so it's that two-layer design. It has that blue panel, which these are awesome. So this is like my second set I've ever dropped, and it was a great hit. I love this design a lot. Looking to get into more Japanese designs in the future. I got also the Snow Leopard set, which is awesome as well. One of my favorite designs. A lot of people love this a lot, which is super great. We got the rash guard top to go with it as well. We got the regular cheetah print set. I didn't make too many of these. I actually only made this for me and a couple of other people, so not too many people have this one. Just thought it was a little bit too bright for the average person, but we might be dropping that eventually in the future. If you guys want one, let me know. I could do a special order. We did get the top as well, though. And then we also have some camo. We have the matching rash guard to go with this as well. We have a blue set, which is IBJJF legal. And then we also have the green set. We're looking to make some Muay Thai shorts in the future, so this is going to be awesome as well. And then we got some more plain basic stuff. We have just like the plain Elevate. I actually changed this for a gym and switched it to their name on top. Just very plain basic. The blue belt sets the blue sets we have are IBJJF legal. So if you guys are looking for any IBJJF legal sets, please let me know, because we can make those for you as well, right? All right, so Elevate Jiu-Jitsu. So all the designs I did myself. I've created every single design. I learned how to do design, which I'm going to get into a little bit. I feel like J. Cole, like where he went platinum with no features. I don't even know what it really means to go platinum. I'm sure that means he had like a certain amount of sales or streams these days. I feel like they don't even do sales that much. But basically, I designed everything. I did everything for myself. I've actually, of course, like friends and people for advice and whatnot. I've talked to other brand owners. I designed the site. I designed the clothes. I've done the videos. I've done all the pictures on the site. I've done everything. Obviously, there's people who've done collabs with me, like when they're competing at tournaments and whatnot, or got their own photos. But everything I've done for myself. So like that's why I feel like this video is going to be super informative. And I'll go on to like hiring a designer and stuff like that to do your stuff. Who knows, maybe you'll hire me to do one of your designs. Not something I do very often, but if you need some help with some stuff, like please reach out, right? So Elevate Jiu-Jitsu started in 2023, changed it to a athletics/fitness brand. It's been worn by people like J-Flow, who is a judo Olympic coach / CGI ref. Ronaldo Jr., who just had a match against J-Rod, who got silver at ADCC. Ian Dobby, California state champ / Oklahoma wrestler, and he trains at 10 Planet Poway and Legion Jiu-Jitsu. It's also been worn by Maddie Forberg, powerlifter / bodybuilder. Sean Yachty Marco, good friend of mine, top 10 in the world at one point. Mike Palladino, a bunch of his students have the sets. Bo Academy, Dan Stats, he has some sets. A bunch of his students have the sets. And then Bergen County Jiu-Jitsu, one of the best gyms around in the area. They have a bunch of the sets as well. So yeah, like there's a lot. It's grown so much. I literally have 150 sets I'm sending out tomorrow. So the brand has grown so much. That first year I had the brand, I probably broke even, honestly. And if you break even and you pretty much like sold out of like most of your gear, then your brand is growing. That means a lot of people have it. And it's like good to grow within like the school that you're at, but eventually you want to look to like branch out. You don't want to just stay at your school because like of course if a bunch of people want to support you, but in order to be a true brand, like you can't just be at your school. You have to be at other places as well. Also, why I started the brand as well. So I was working for a jiu-jitsu company and they had promised me like this is like the underdog story, right? They promised me, they're like, all right, like you can own a part of this brand. We'll help you create your own brand. And I was with this company for a while. I helped them grow a ton of followers. And then when I asked them like, hey, can you help me start my own brand? I got rejected. And I was like, wow, like that, like it hurt. I was like, man, like I put all so much effort into growing your brand. Like this makes no sense for me to basically be here anymore. So I probably stood there for a couple months, started my own brand, and didn't help me at all. And they sold other people's brands. So I eventually left. I got a new job. And then 3 days after I was at the new job, I'm like, I don't want to work for anybody. I just want to work for myself. I quit the second job. And then I was like, all right, like I pretty much was like almost at like, I was teaching jujitsu and I was like, I have like no income essentially. Like I just have to save every single dollar, like eat like basically like eggs every day, whatever. And then I got offered another job, which was like more lax into like my field, like Hollow Labs. And then I was able to get another manufacturer. Yeah, just kind of just growing on its own. So eventually, I see myself like eventually doing some bigger things with it, as long as it keeps growing and whatnot. But let's get into the like a couple of things. We have like 4 main things, and I'm sure I'll go into like sub highlights of those 4 main things. The design/designer. So you could always hire a designer for your project, but I feel like keeping your first design super basic, like something that you can draw up. So I'd recommend learning how to use a program like Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator, I learned from YouTube and just kind of like asking questions to people who use Adobe Illustrator. So I'm sure there's like some groups or forums, or maybe you know a friend, or ask like hire a tutor. Learn how to use Adobe or some kind of creative program. It's only going to help you in the long run. Like I've seen guys like they have maybe on paper or like maybe like visually like some good brands, or maybe they have money that they can pump into their good brands, but they have like they don't make the designs themselves. And I'm like, I could get hiring somebody else for some specific kind of art you can do, but you should be able to be a little proficient at the designs yourself. Plus, it's going to help. Let's say I'm good at design, but I'm not good at a specific piece of art, but somebody else is also good at design, but they're good at this certain piece of art. I can create it and be like, hey, this is the basic outline. This is what I want to look here. I can send it to them, and it's going to be much easier for me to convey that message to them. So learning a program like Adobe Illustrator is great. I went on YouTube, and there's this guy who shows you how to draw a penguin. And then he has like a whole bunch of lists of tutorials. It takes a lot of time. Like I'm not the best Adobe Illustrator. I'm not the best drawer in the world. Like, but I know how to use it so I could get my designs on a rash guard and like learn how to basically like, for example, like this design. When I was doing this design, it's just like a 2D image on Illustrator, right? But I also have to make sure, how do I get the art under here, right? So I basically had to like learn how to get a picture and then select the part of the shorts that were underwear and then put it on top of there, and then talk to my manufacturer and be like, hey, this is the design I want. Please send the sample or whatnot, or please understand if you're understanding what I'm telling you. And then they were able to get it. So I never have to go through like for me, it's also quicker because now if I have the skill to talk to my manufacturer directly, now I don't have to have my designer talk to the manufacturer or just keep communicating with 3 people. It saves you a lot of time by understanding the design itself. It takes a lot of time. Like I remember I'd be working all day. I'd go to jiu-jitsu and then I'd go home and I would be dead tired from jiu-jitsu and I'd be on my computer just like designing something. And sometimes the design project was like, all right, like maybe I'll redraw the logo for like somebody else's brand, add some colors into it, or like learn how to do certain shapes and whatnot. And like that's what I would do for an hour. So as long as I was using the app for an hour all the time, I would do that. I would go on Instagram. I'd follow a ton of Adobe Illustrator pages for like tips, tricks, and advice. And I would learn different effects like drop shadows and whatnot. So learning Adobe Illustrator is great. Now, if you don't have money, I probably wouldn't recommend hiring a designer if you don't have a lot of money you could put into the brand, because you could end up getting a design. Let's say you pay $500 for the design, unless you got a really affordable, like maybe you pay somebody $50 for a design, or you could also use like some AI system, but you got to be careful with copyright and that stuff and whatnot. You could get a design, and then let's say you spend $500 on this, and you're only buying X amount of rash guards, and it basically doesn't cover that. You're gonna be losing money. If you have money and you can drop it, and you don't really care about losing money, you just want people to wear your stuff, and that's good for branding, that also works out as well. So you just have to be careful with the money. But at the end of the day, no matter what, if you have the money or not, learn how to do design. It's going to make your life 10 times easier, 10 times faster. It's also landing me other job opportunities, because with the brand Hollow, let's say if we need a certain color for a shirt, I can change it really easily, or create design concepts, or do social media posts. So learning Illustrator isn't just a good skill for designing clothes, it's also a good skill for like social media and creating content and whatnot, right? Which is good. Number 2 is like finding a website to host your clothes. Shopify. Shopify is easy to use, but it's also very complicated. Like if you're not computer savvy, you might even want to hire somebody to set up your Shopify and whatnot. I was using Shopify for the company I'm working for now, the company I was working for last, and like I didn't have to actually like use it too much, but because like I had the ability to use it, I think for like making certain posts and whatnot and looking up certain inventories, I learned how to do like discount codes, marketing, navigation, shipping, and then like inventory. So you could create an item, you could create orders. You also get discount on labels as well. So using Shopify is great. I have the most basic version. It's $40 a month. Even if I got like one sale a month, like it basically covers it. And getting into, I didn't even write, I'm going to just give me another point later, setting up your bank account and what kind of business you want and like what I use and whatnot. It could also be a tax write-off as well. So like that could help you in the future as well. So just kind of keeping that in mind. So using Shopify, maybe you have to hire somebody. There's a ton of YouTube videos on how to use it. It does update. So sometimes you'll watch a YouTube video and like the things don't make sense. So it does take some navigating. I've had to pull up reports for like athletes and whatnot, and it kind of changes sometimes. So you have to really be on top of it. And like mind you, like I said, I do everything. So it is a lot, right? So getting Shopify is great. They have some super cool themes. My website is pretty basic. I have the website up like right here. So this is my, closing all the other tabs, my Facebook. So this is my website. It's black and white. It has the Giant Elevate logo here. It has a size chart, which is good to have, our brand story, contact information, our shipping policy, our blog, which we should probably do more of, men's and women's sizes. So you click women's, there's all the women's sizes here, some cool photos. If you go to men's, all the men's sizes and whatnot. So make sure that when you do set up your website, it's easy to navigate. If you have questions, you can send me a message, or there's some other videos out there. So it is complicated, but once you get that set up, and if you only have one thing on your website, like you're not going to have to worry about a ton of things. You're just going to have to worry about selling that one thing and eventually growing your brand and selling some other things as well, right? Social media / networking. So I use social media for like my main source of like how to get orders or how to get new customers and whatnot. So it's like following a lot of people in the Jiu Jitsu world, commenting on their stuff, messaging them, like having genuine conversations about people. I normally don't go out there and like offer like discount codes. Something I used to do, and like it definitely works if you do it like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. But I just also didn't want to waste my time. Sorry guys, I'm getting over being sick. I didn't also want to waste a ton of my time like messaging people. I mean, if you have nothing to do, like that's a great way if you have no other source of income. But I've had other sources of income, so it's like easier way to do that is kind of just like investing in ads and like having good ads so that people can buy your clothing. I don't do a lot of ads when it comes to marketing, and that's probably because I had already a jiu-jitsu page which had 50,000 followers from memes. So I used a lot of my meme page followers to follow that, and I'm sure that was a conversion of customers. I'm not exactly sure what is right. Networking too, also like giving out free stuff. So I find black belts that teach are always good people to give clothes to, because that's going to be the person in front of a lot of like the newer people, the white belts. And when white belts come in, they usually come in with a t-shirt and shorts with pants, right? So they're probably going to be looking at their coach, professor, whoever runs the school, like, as a person, like, oh, what brand should I own? If you see that your professor has an Elevate Jiu Jitsu shirt on, what are you probably gonna, your first thoughts? I need some new Jiu Jitsu clothes. It's probably gonna be what they're wearing. So I'd always reach out to black belts, coaches, or athletes, or people who have a lot of follower counts, and I would always send people like some free gear. Now, obviously, you're gonna lose, but sometimes you can gain. Maybe you could even give the person, the athlete, like a discount code. And like, hey, if like you get a sale with this discount code, I'll give you a percentage of like whatever it is. So that can be incentivizing to them. So that's like a good way to grow the brand. You could also like do tables at events. This isn't something that I did. I'm personally like, I'm social. Like you could put me in a social, like an environment. I'll talk to people, but I'd much rather be at home doing a lot of this work. Now, of course, like I do drop off gear at gyms like locally, and like it does take like an hour to drive because I live essentially in the middle of nowhere. But besides that, like it's easier for me to like save 2 hours by just staying home all day. I can go to a jiu-jitsu event. I'm sure that's great to grow the brand. It's just something that I'm not interested in. I'm a one-man show, so like I never hired anyone. I've just done it on my own, and I just kind of like to keep it like that. Everyone has their different takes on it. If I could grow this brand to like, I don't know, $1 million-billion company and doing it from home, I would be like to be the first one to do it. I think it's highly possible. But yeah, that's just kind of like how I do it. Also, like some social media feed posts. So I never understood the difference between branding and marketing. So basically, branding is like who your brand is. So like for me, like I was saying before, like Elevate represents that I want to take my life to a new level, and like I think that's what everyone should do. You should always be looking to advance your jiu-jitsu, your career, your family, your mental health, your just like your job, your finances. Like you should always look to be advancing. So that's where like Elevate stems from. So that's what the brand represents. And whenever I post anybody on my page, it's like they're winning jiu-jitsu tournaments, um, winning jiu-jitsu tournaments, posting some cool stuff on social media, which I think is a form of elevation. Like if you're posting cool content that shows that you're putting effort, and if you're putting effort into that one aspect of your life, you're probably putting effort into other aspects of your life. So always elevating. So that's what branding is. Now, branding without marketing is like basically like being in your room and like having the best idea, and you're not marketing that idea. So like how I go about marketing, like I said, following people, liking, commenting on their posts, but also like reaching out. So if you're going to be sending stuff to athletes, like send stuff to high level athletes. You can put ads on. I don't do ads, like I said, for my own personal page, but I've done them for like other pages, and I've seen sales with that and whatnot. But I feel like sometimes like you probably should have a good following before you put ads into it. So if you don't know how to have that good following, then maybe ads are good in the beginning. But let's say if there's two pages that start a jiu-jitsu brand, one has 10K, one has 0K, I'm probably going to be more interested in buying the one that has 10K followers. So really going on Instagram or social medias and really crushing it by growing your social media and putting some awesome content out there, collabing with people. If like, let's say somebody does a collab post with you, like follow the people that like that post, like, you know, try to check the accounts that are also into jiu-jitsu, because you're probably going to get a good percentage of those people following your page. Going to other gyms, like, you know, like you don't always have to announce that, like, hey, I started this jiu-jitsu brand. Like that's kind of like, it's kind of like awkward. I would probably like, I don't know, I'd probably introduce into a conversation like more subtly, like not trying to sell stuff to every single person I like know. Like I never try to sell anything anymore. It just kind of like the brand grew, and if people ask me about it, like, or like I'll go to a gym and like maybe I sold some like gears to their guys, and like, oh, like how do you like the gear? And then I'm like, oh, like this gear's like, oh, it's pretty sick. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're like, oh, this is yours? I'm like, yeah, this is my brand. And then their mind is blown. They're like, wow. It's weird whenever people find out like you started a brand. It's like oh, like you're like they're like, how did you, like you see their mind going like, how did you come up with these designs or do all this and that? And it's like, man, it just took a lot of work, but it was just like sitting down on my desk all day studying Adobe Illustrator and videos and photography. Honestly, I didn't study much about videos and photography. I kind of just grabbed the camera and started recording. So I'll learn a little bit more about that as time goes along. There's also email marketing brand like Fuel Hunt does like a ton of great email marketing. I'm not into it. I know another well-known company I was talking for does it a lot too. They said it's really awesome for sales. I don't do it. I just don't have the time to do it. Like I said, I have a million other projects going on. I think it's great. I didn't even know people use email like until like probably like the last like, I don't know, 5 or whatever, how many years. And it's just like a great way to tell your story. I'm just not into telling a story like that so often. If people are, that's great for them. I just don't care to like motivate people in that same sense. I just kind of do it with like quotes and just kind of just post on my Instagram. It's that is just like right now. That's not the work that I'm cut out for right now. But if you have no other time, go into email marketing, figure it out. It's a great way. Photography and videography, man. So this is actually a good one. So if you can see the screen here, I'll just pull it up a little bigger. I'll zoom in. All right, it won't actually zoom in, so I'll have to zoom in here. You can probably see it decently well. I'll pull this up a little bit. Oop, that was my script falling down. Imagine I read a script word for word. Trying to move the tripod over here. So this is, I had this done at my house. Honestly, I think I did this in my, I think I did this photo in the laundry room or something. And with something like this, I actually did this on my old camera. I'm very curious to see what these photos would look like on a new camera. But most of the time I do it with a white backdrop. So I'm going to pull up the photo of Gabby. Yep, so this is Gabby. Gabby's a super awesome person. So this was a white backdrop. But what I did, because you can tell there's a difference between the white here, I use an app like Lightroom. And what you could do is you could select the white background or you could select the image. And I selected the white background and it was actually like, you can tell it was like wrinkled and whatnot, the white background. And I just increased the brightness or contrast. So it gave it that effect of a white background. So this was really good for photography. You can't even tell. It just looks like a very nice regular studio's white background, which probably would have been much easier to do if I was at like if I had better lighting during the time or kind of just more natural lighting. But I got to work what I had to work with. Could you do these photos with an iPhone? You could, and I've done photos with an iPhone in the past. But getting a nice camera that's like worth investing in is probably more worth doing. You'll probably see the quality difference. I've seen them versus my iPhone photos. I think I have a kid photo. I actually don't have the kids on here anymore. Don't have any of the photos done in the gym like that. I don't think so. Actually, this one's a good example. So this one I did on like a wooden background. You can't even tell, but the edges are a little bit messed up on the side. So you could use an app like Lightroom just to kind of like to fix up the white background and the edges and whatnot, which have been really good. It looks like I don't have pants on, but I do. These shorts are really short. I like short jiu-jitsu shorts, but it looks a little weird for the video right now. So using a program like Lightroom to do that kind of stuff is great. And then videography, photography, like now you could use an iPhone for your photos, especially when you're starting in the beginning. Like that's great if you can't afford like a super nice high quality camera. But you can use like an iPhone, which would be fine. Just make sure the lighting is good and you should be A1. And then just go to any website, go to my website, look at the poses, go to some other jiu-jitsu brand's website, or go to maybe some gym lifting website. Look at the poses, do a bunch of different poses, show people what they want to see. They want to see the logo, they want to see the back, they want to see the front, they want to see the sides. Like do some different photo variations. Like you want to show off your product, show it off in different ways. Just don't do a photo of the rash guard back and front. Like no one's going to want to buy that. People want to order stuff when there's effort put in. So when you see the photo taken, the rash guard and shorts taken from plenty of different angles and there's a nice background to it, people are going to like that. You might be able to use a gym background. I've seen other places do it as well, but this just seems a little bit more professional. I might use a gym background in the future. There's one photo I have actually of Michelle Nunez. She did, this is the Roll Life shorts in the gym. I actually have Kimmy in here as well. She has a photo in the gym, but I think these weren't bad photos. These were decently well. Maybe just use them as extras for photos, and that might work as well, right? And then moving on. This is probably like, oh no, video. I'm sorry. So let's go about video. So you can probably use an iPhone to get like a lot of like videos done and whatnot. iPhones are great quality these days. If you want to get a little bit nicer of a camera with a different like lens, DJI Osmo, which is what I'm using for this video, it shoots 4K, horizontal, up to 60 frames per second, so you can get some nice slow-mo shots. iPhones, I do believe 4K, 60 frames per second as well. I just don't like using an iPhone for storage, plus the phone gets hot, and like your phone is meant to be your phone. It's not meant to be like a pure camera. Like if you're doing photos, that's fine. But if you're doing videos for long, your phone's gonna get super hot. It's not built for that kind of like video making and whatnot, unless you have it like upgraded or something. So something that Michelle Nunes told me, the girl who's in one of the photos before, she told I got this gimbal like years ago. There's probably some newer versions of it out. I don't know if this thing is charged. It's not even charged right now. But this is the DJI Osmo. It's a gimbal for your phone. It makes the shots much smoother, which is great. I have the DJI Ronin for me, which is for the Sony A7IV I have. So this is like one's more for mirrorless or DSLR cameras, which is great. So this is good. And then this is the camera I use for photography / videography now. I haven't used it for any of the ones I have currently on the site. I don't think I could use it for Evo. I'm actually going to talk to Evo whenever I can this week, and I'm going to see if I could do some nice videos and shots of their rash guards and their gym and whatnot. So that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, so videography, get some cool videos. I think videos do way better on Instagram and TikTok than, well, I don't even know if TikTok does videos, but for photos, for videos on or reels on Instagram, you got to make reels. Like reels are super, super important. And it's jiu-jitsu, so it should be pretty easy on how to make videos, get different angles, get a nice gimbal. If you're using your phone, get the DJI, I forgot what this is called. And it's not the Osmo. I forgot what it's called. There's like a regular gimbal. It'd make the quality way better. When an image is stabilized, meaning it's like stuck in one place, it's going to look nicer. If you're shaking around like a lot, it's not going to be good. And when you're using your hands shake. You don't realize it. Once you have a stabilizing point, I remember using the DJI, whatever this thing is called. I wish I had the name on it. For the first time, I was like, wow, the image looks so much better. Like my eyes were like mind blown. It just looks like very cinematic, very movie like. And to have that, people are going to look at that video and I'm like, wow, like that is absolutely incredible. Like that you can do that even with an iPhone. And if you get like a lens converter for your iPhone to get different lens ranges and whatnot, that would also like people will appreciate that because they're like, oh, they're not using an iPhone, even though you are. It just looks a little different and whatnot. So getting nice video for your page is awesome, and then try to fit it to the theme of whatever you're trying to make, right? And then last thing, this is probably one of the first things you should do, I believe. So I forgot if I ordered. I think I did everything legal. Like that was my first thing. I was like, man, if I'm gonna start this brand, I'm committing to having this brand. And I'm happy I did because like jiu-jitsu was honestly like the first thing I've ever really committed to besides like lifting and working out. Where I was like, if I could do this consistently, I could get good at jiu-jitsu and whatnot. And you know, I feel like I'm relatively good at jiu-jitsu, you know, compared to whatever like the average person. And I was like, all right, like, so what I did was I believe I had to start the business like through some like New York State website. I had to do two things. I had to get an employee EIN, and then I had to like get the business name like official. I forgot exactly. Then I went through LegalZoom to get the name trademarked, or right? Yeah, because I got through LegalZoom to get it trademarked, and did some other business things through that. And then after that, maybe I went to the bank. I gave them my EIN. I opened up a business bank account, and then I did that. And then, yeah, so I went through LegalZoom. I went through LegalZoom to get like, I went to like, how do you start a business? And there was like two things I had to do for New York State. I had to do with the trademark and starting the business name, and I had it trademarked and whatnot. Then after that, I started my own business, a bank account, I had the employee EIN. Then I had to do some other registration things. There's like a whole bunch of lists. It depends on your state. But I went through it like the legal way. I started my business bank account. I also had to talk to an accountant. So the way I set up my business is an S Corp. Apparently it's good for taxes. I don't know, like I literally just started on my own, and I just kind of asked my friend who I believe has his own business doing something. And he's like, yo, start an S Corp. It's good for taxes. And I was like, all right. And then I did that. And when I did my taxes here, I was like, yep, it's good for taxes. He was right. So yeah, just legally do it. Get your name trademarked if you can. It costs money. When I started my S Corp, I started as like a social media slash like jiu-jitsu or like clothing brand. So it pretty much covered me on all bases. And that's pretty much it. And that's how I started my own jiu-jitsu brand. This video is long. There's a lot of stuff in it. So you're going to have to take what you can take out of this. And that's pretty much it. That's how I started my own jiu-jitsu brand. Anybody who's watching this video, if you want a discount on some like clothes, like comment below, or not comment below, check out the description. And that's how, these are my tips on how I started my own jiu-jitsu brand. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in my next video. Peace.